Once there was a mouse who had a very beautiful daughter. In fact, his daughter was so beautiful, he decided that no ordinary mouse could certainly marry her. Certainly the person who married her had to be the most powerful person, the most powerful creature on earth. So he thought a while and then went to the sun and addressed the sun. Mr. Sun, you are the most powerful creature on earth. No one can resist you. I want you to marry my daughter. The sun replied, well, it's not true that I'm the most powerful creature on earth. Because when I try to shine and the clouds come by and block my rays, I can do absolutely nothing at all. So I can't marry your daughter. So then the mouse went to a cloud and said to the cloud, Mr. Cloud, you are the most powerful creature on earth. I want you to marry my daughter. And the cloud responded, but I'm not really the most powerful. The winds just push me around where they want and I can do nothing about it. So I can't marry your daughter. So the mouse went to the wind and again asked, Mr. Wind, you are the most powerful creature on earth. I want you to marry my daughter. And the wind said, no, I am not really the most powerful, because I may blow as much as I try, but any wall will keep me from getting through. So I can't marry your daughter. And again the mouse went to a wall and said to the wall, Mr. Wall, you are the most powerful creature on earth. I want you to marry my daughter. And the wall said, well, it's not true that I'm the most powerful. Because any little mouse can get through me and I can't do anything about it. And so the beautiful daughter married her boyfriend and they lived happily ever after. Monique, Sister Wynn, Sister Teresa, Ben, Sister Nat, Paul, Javier, Ramon, Franciscus, Peter. After 4, 5, oh yes, Joseph, I was wondering someone was missing. Sorry, I noticed that. After 4 or 5, even maybe 6 years here, I'm sure that you've been not only studying a lot, but you've learned a lot. You've learned a lot of lessons. But before we let you go, there are still 3 lessons that the mouse and his daughter want to share with you. The first lesson is, don't think too little of yourself. The mouse, of course, figured he was nothing. Or another mouse was nothing anyway. So he had to go look for someone who was more powerful or better. Probably every one of us, sooner or later, underestimate or undervalue our very selves, our talents, our gifts, our possibilities, our goodness. And yet God has blessed us with all kinds of talents and potentiality. And during your time here at Divine Word College, those gifts and talents have grown and improved. You've learned a lot. You've learned to reason and evaluate, to judge and think and criticize, to support, to live in a culturally diverse community. You have a lot going for you now, not just the little information you know, but all the things that you have learned while you have been here. Don't underestimate that. Don't sell yourself short. Now that you are leaving Divine Word College, the mission of Jesus, go out to the world and preach the gospel, should now be a bit more relevant for you. You have already served in ministry. You have already lived in community. You have already have a good idea what it means to be church. Share that with others. Don't be afraid to lead. Don't be afraid to criticize. Don't be afraid to use the reason that God has given you. So that's the first lesson. Don't think too little of yourself. The second lesson is, don't think too much of yourself. Sure, you have a degree now, or will have a degree. Sure, you've managed to survive all those exams and some of those classes like Dr. Condon, etc. Certainly you've learned a thing or two. But you know what? You don't know everything. To some extent, a college degree is just a marker along the way. And you will continually learning, or you should be, all of your lives. Your very professors here have to keep reading and studying and going to conferences and doing research and finding ways to improve themselves in their fields. And you'll find out you have to do some of that as well. At the same time, don't think that you're going out to the world alone. Even Jesus sent out his disciples 2 by 2. He recognized that we do not live out the gospel command just by ourselves. We are part of the community called the church. And we do our job, we preach the gospel and live out our discipleship together and with one another. The age of the rugged, lone missionary is over with. When we preach God's mission, we rely on one another. Fellow missionaries, fellow religious, lay people. Don't think that you have to do this all by yourself. So don't think too much of yourself. The third and final lesson is, don't forget God's plans for you. It's very interesting that the story never mentions God. And yet in the background, talking about the powerful creatures, perhaps we think that there's God somewhere behind the story as well. And God is behind each one of our stories. There is a reason why God brought you here. There is a reason why God gave you the grace to persevere while you were here. And there are plans for you in the future that you have no idea what they will be yet. Wherever they may be, whatever it could be. You can't even guess the kinds of things that God has in store for you. So when we have this motto, go make a difference, I think you will make a difference if you do God's will. If you find out what God's plans for you are. If you allow God's grace to work in your lives. So graduates, we're proud of you. We appreciate your being with us for these years. We send you out to the world not in fear or anxiety of what you may wreak upon the world, but rather with the pride and the confidence that you will certainly go out and make your mark and represent Divine Word College. So as we wish you, let's say, blessings and congratulations on this special day for you, the mouse and his daughter would like to remember, though, don't forget. Don't think too little of yourselves. Don't think too much of yourselves. And don't forget God's plans for you. Because if God is working in your lives, nothing is impossible.